With Donald Trump seemingly having a meltdown mid-Trump rally, he did some very questionable things with a microphone. P. Diddy also catching some shade at the same Trump rally. Of course, who else would be catching shade right now? And the unfortunate news that a 74-year-old man had passed away, but his severed head was found in the streets of Edinburgh during the night of Halloween. And with passers-by not knowing that it wasn't a decoration, they started playing around with it before realising that it was truly a human head. That's some of the crazy things that we're going to be covering in today's video. But the first thing that we're going to be talking about, P. Diddy catching some shade at a recent Trump rally after Decapitated took to the mic. And, well, let me just show you what she said, because I couldn't do it justice.
You literally get 6 presidents when you pick him. You get Donald Trump, you get J.D. Vance, you get Bobby Kennedy, you get Tulsi Gabbard, you get Vivek Ramaswamy, and you get Elon Musk. Because when I decided that I'm going to vote, now I'm speaking. And I'm not paid to be here. I don't have a teleprompter. I'm winging this right now, everybody. I don't need a telephone. I never went to a Diddy party. I'm doing this because I love this country. And there's nobody that's been tested more than Donald Trump on showing his love for this country.
So there you can see, obviously, you know, to emphasize her point, she brings up P. Diddy stating, I'm not here because I went to a Diddy party. I'm here because I'm a true voter and all the rest of it. Obviously, it's really heating up over in the general election, which I am going to be covering on this channel live, and it's going to be a call-in one. So if you are interested in the live election and you want up-to-date news, obviously come and follow me on that live stream. And as things happen, I'll have a live Zoom link so you can join me on the live stream. We can chat about it as things unfold. Anyway, shameless plug right there. But that wasn't the only thing that happened during this Trump rally, as Donald Trump did some very questionable things with his microphone.
The mic stinks. I think it stinks. Way too low.
So he did that because just before Donald Trump stepped up to the podium, Kamala Harris had been using that microphone. And obviously that was the reason for him stating the microphone stinks and all the rest of it, doing the very, questionable actions around it. But there is a really good breakdown on this just here, which kind of goes into a bit more detail about a bit more of the meltdown that he went on shortly after he picked up the microphone.
So I was just scrolling through TikTok this morning and I caught Trump's breakdown live, so I started recording.
Fix the mic. You gotta be kidding. You want to see me knock the hell out of people backstage? You want to see me? It's so angry. I'm up here seething. I'm seething. I'm working my ass off with this stupid mic. Blowing out my left arm. Now I'm going to blow out my right arm, and I'm blowing out my damn throat, too, because these stupid people. So stupid. Only thing I ask for is a good mic. Total moron. And that happened. I'd fire him. Hello? Hello? Is that better? Is that better? What crap? Wending over like this. Hello. And then everybody says, what the hell is wrong with that guy?
Okay, so clearly it's been a busy time in office for Donald Trump. He's clearly a very busy man, and I can only assume that that's down to overtiredness, that this is just getting absolutely wild, you know? I mean, if I've never really followed the US general elections until this year, but wow, it is one hell of a spectacle, you know? Like, it's not like we do it in the UK. It's very civilized over here. It's very, gentlemanly. Ha ha ha, yes. But this is just cat fights, purse throwing, and just all sorts. It is wild over in the States. What do you make of this? What is going on? But while you're down there talking about it, I'm going to move on to the final story, which is, probably one of the most horrific things that I've read in a little while, which is tragically a 74-year-old man was had lost his life, but after being hit by a bus. And there were reports of his severed head being found on the streets of Edinburgh. But because this was going on during Halloween, people assumed that it was a prop. And, you know, they started doing some heinous things with this head, playing with it. There were reports of it being teabagged and stuff like this, before realising that it was truly someone's head that was found on the streets. And this is just one of the most horrific things that I think I've ever read. But a man sadly died after being struck by a bus following unverified reports of a severed head being found on the streets of Edinburgh. Police have since asked the public to stop sharing the distressing photos and videos on social media, which are causing distress to the deceased family. Completely understand that. The 74-year-old was hit by a single-decker bus on the Cowgate area around 7:25 p.m. on Saturday the 2nd of November, police in Scotland said. People in the surrounding area were asked to leave the roads after they were closed off for forensic officers attending the scene. The roads were since reopened by the police and said that there was no risk to the wider public. BBC Scotland news reporter James Delaney said inside were two forensic tents probably about 100 metres apart. The Cowgate is usually a jumping on a Saturday night and the bars and pubs inside the cordon had been closed. We saw about a dozen people or so in white forensic suits, and there were a few guys in suits too who I assume were detectives. Sergeant Louise Byrell of the Reed Policing Unit, Edinburgh, added, "Our thoughts are with the family and friends of the man who passed away. Extensive inquiries are ongoing to establish the full circumstances of this incident. Officers have spoken to a number of people who were in the area at the time and work on the ongoing to check the public and private CCTV footage. We are still keen to hear from anyone who has not yet spoken to the police. If you have any information, all the rest of it." You know, obviously it's pretty horrific what went on and some of the things that were going on regarding this story. And breaking it down, I found quite a few videos that kind of talk about it from different points of view.
So I'm not long awake, but I woke up to messages from people with the pictures of the bloody severed head. Why are people sending these to each other? I didn't really want to see that, to be honest. But it looked real, and the pictures that I was sent was one of the head, one of the body, and the CCTV of a guy thinking it was fake and picking it up. And if that was me, I would not be okay. I'm not okay having seen the pictures. I'm waiting on some more information to say what the hell has went on here, because that's ridiculous. I can't believe this.
I mean, it is absolutely horrifying to learn about. You know, I haven't seen the footage of the people picking it up, and I haven't seen the images of the remains. And I, you know, from what I've heard, it's incredibly disturbing. It's not something that I'm keen to see for sure, but you know, the footage is pretty wild.
A severed head was found on the streets of Edinburgh last night after someone picked it up because they thought it was a Halloween prop. Let me explain. So apparently this happened in the Cowgate area in Edinburgh. Police are saying that a 74-year-old man has sadly passed away after being hit by a bus. Apparently this happened just after 7:30 last night. The exact circumstances of how this crash happened is unknown so far. But members of the public are saying that a man picked this head up thinking that it was a Halloween prop. Obviously it's Halloween weekend this weekend. It was Halloween on Thursday. So, like, you can imagine why someone would think that. But little did this man know it was actually real, which, as you can probably imagine, would be absolutely traumatizing for this guy. And obviously, because of this incident, they put this area on lockdown. As you can see, there is a police tent here, which sadly is where this head was found. Apparently, it was positioned against the curb. According to reports, there was CCTV footage of this man picking this up and then realizing that something wasn't right. Police in Edinburgh have said that this is just an isolated incident and that there's no threat to the wider public. They are obviously investigating it and they're investigating the crash. Sadly, this does just sound like it was a tragic accident. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments and make sure you follow him for all the latest news.
So yeah, that's the kind of reports that I'm hearing as well, is that the you know, it was just unfortunately a tragic accident. You know, it wasn't with malicious intent. It wasn't because, you know, it was an attack of any kind. It just seems to be a horrifically, you know, sad accident.
Police have confirmed a 74-year-old man died in Edinburgh last night after claims a severed head was found on the street. They said he was hit by a single-decker bus in the Cowgate area just before 7:30 p.m. Details of exactly what happened remain unclear, but eyewitnesses claim that members of the public mistook a head for a Halloween prank. Unverified photos and videos are being widely shared online, which police warn are causing distress to the deceased's family. Chief Inspector Tricia Clark said, "We would ask members of the public not to share them out of respect for his family and to report them to the relevant social media platform to prevent further circulation."
Of course, it goes without saying that, you know, thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of this man at this time. Police are still doing an ongoing investigation to try and find out what exactly happened, how this tragedy ended up taking place, and are basically piecing together the puzzle. But what do you guys think of this entire situation? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything that we've covered down in the comments below. Yeah, be sure to, well, it feels a bit insensitive to say drop a like, so I'm not going to, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.